Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another video. Today, we are going to take this putter and turn it into a DIY broomstick long putter style. If you can see this here, this is a TaylorMade Rosa Corzini Ag Sci. It's an old, actually a belly putter, probably from like the 90s or maybe 2000s. I'm honestly not even sure. We're going to convert this thing to a broomstick style putter. First step here is to take the head off. We got to make a bunch of modifications to it. So I just am using a butane torch and heating up the hosel until the glue releases and the head pops off. There's a number of things that we're going to have to do. And really, ultimately, my goal here is just to experiment with this. I've never owned a broomstick putter, and I don't want to pay several $100s to try one out. So I'm going to try one with this. And I think it's just fun to tinker and experiment with golf clubs and learn more about their specifications. So I got this putter for about $50 shipped to me a while ago. And so I think it'd be a good candidate for that. Now, I'm using this tape. This is some vinyl tape here. It's pretty heavy tape, and I'm going to coat all of those open cavities that you saw around the head. And because the first thing that I need to do is get the head weight up. A proper broomstick style putter has a couple of important specifications. The first one is a head weight of about 500 grams. The second one is a lie angle of about 79, almost 80 degrees. And then your loft needs to be almost zero, maybe 1 degree. And so those are all three of those specs need to change. This head I need to add a lot of weight to it. I don't have any weight ports, and frankly, there's not, like I need to add over 100 grams anyways. So what I'm going to do is a combination of lead powder and epoxy, and it's going to fill in all of this cavity here. There's a lot of open space here in the cavity of the putter, and so the tape is going to serve as like my form, and then I'm going to mix 2-part epoxy that I would use like for shafting, and I'm going to mix into it my lead powder. And like I said, you can see the form I'm setting up here. That's where I'm going to mix everything. Just going to make some adjustments here to trim it down a little bit. This is going to be the form. So we're going to use that, and we're going to add the weight. I'm going to get my scale out here, and it's going to coming in at 385 grams, which is about, belly putters are about 400 grams. Standard putters are maybe 350, so it's a little heavier than normal. Now, I apologize. The footage of me actually mixing up the epoxy got corrupted. But it was very simple. I basically would pour my 2-part epoxy into the tape, into the cavity, and then I would mix lead powder, and I would just continue doing that. I would do equal parts of my 2-part epoxy, and I would add lead powder till and I would have it on my scale until I added 115 grams, so it got right at 500 grams total head weight. All right, I think what I've decided to do is I'm going to go with the original shaft. I'm going to install it kind of like it was originally meant to be, because that is probably the easiest way to get the shaft to have the right loft. And then I'm going to be able to, after the fact, bend it to the right lie angle. I think that's probably going to be the best and easiest way to do it. So I'm going to install the existing shaft so that it's just parallel with the face, so it gives me the correct loft. And then I'll bend it and extend it later. So let's just go ahead and glue this guy on there. I've just got some Golfworks 2-part epoxy and put some of that together right here and get it glued up. Next, I need to get my shaft extension. The existing shaft was about 41 inches, which is pretty good for a belly putter, but I need to get this more closer to somewhere between like 45 and 48 inches. So I cut off an old shaft that I had been used on another project, and I measured the circumference of this that it would fit pretty ideally. You can see I've got about a 6 or 8 inch extension here, and then I'm just mixing up more 2-part epoxy, and I'm going to use that to basically run the shaft into the end of the belly shaft and extend it. A couple things about this is I did sand it with 100 grit sandpaper so that and to give it a little something to bite into, And actually, it's a nice tight fit here, so I should have no trouble with this thing breaking off in the future. Now I am working on bending the loft and lie angle. This is my Super Pro setup, basically using 2 adjustable wrenches. The first one goes around the hosel, and what I really want to be bending is that black little butt end and not the metal tube of the shaft. So I'm affixing the first part of the adjustable wrench onto that black part, and then the second adjustable wrench affixes to the first adjustable wrench. And then you basically just torque it from there. Now I'm struggling with it a little bit, but I don't want to have too much leverage because I don't want to overbend it. Rather underbend it than overbend it, but with enough torque, you can see how it's pretty effective there. It's very upright. So just to talk you through what you're seeing here, this is a Golfworks angle protractor. You can see here I've set it to just inside 81. We're at about 79 degrees. Now if you just put it here, it's kind of hard to see it. So I take this alignment rod. I don't know if my angles are quite right. But what I'm trying to do is put this here in the middle of the face. We have this alignment rod run up parallel to the shaft. And my intention here is with the putter sitting flat, you can see that they're pretty much the same angle. So that's the goal. The second real test as I actually do this lie angle is really to just put it down on the ground and see how it feels. You know, I try to get a feel for the putter sitting flat. How far away, what kind of posture do I need to have? Honestly, that feels pretty good. I don't have a lot of room to go more upright, but initial reaction is that it feels pretty good. Next, I'm applying some 2-inch masking tape to the length of the shaft. I'm going to need this for applying the grip, which I've never applied a long grip before. I think it's going to be kind of a pain. So I want this masking tape to give me a foundation for which to apply a lubricant and then get a grip slid on. We're going to see how that goes. But just very simply applying masking tape here. All right, so this was my go at getting a grip on it. I don't want to spend a lot of money on this putter, and so my first step was to take an old grip. This is actually a jumbo size, and to try to fix it down. Now I actually took it to the bandsaw, and you can see the rear end of it is cut off, so it's open, which means that I can't blow it on with compressed air, which is my normal method. Now, I think I made a mistake picking a jumbo size grip. I wanted a bigger grip because I thought that would be more comfortable, but being a jumbo, it doesn't really give or expand much, and so it made it very, very difficult and very tight to apply. So I actually ended up scrapping this. Yeah, you can see I'm struggling with this tremendously. I ended up taking this thing off, and I used a different grip, a thinner grip that was easier to get on. All right, I finally got a grip on this dumb thing. This was horrible. Usually I use mineral spirits. That was not working at all. I actually messed up like 2 or 3 grips. But basically I took a regular grip. We used the bandsaw to cut the end off. Got that thing loaded up with mineral spirits. And it did not, it wouldn't get past about here. So finally, I busted out some of this silicone lubricant. I have no idea if that's going to be like permanently slippery or what's going to happen. I don't know. We're going to find out. Hopefully it dries and goes away. I don't know. We're going to, whatever. We're going to find out. But if I got a grip on it finally, we will see how it feels. And here we are. This is the Rasa Corzina Ag Sci converted to a long broomstick style putter. Okay, so I want to give some comments here on putting with this thing. I think that one of the benefits of this setup is that I have total control over tweaking this thing in the future. These are literally the first strokes I made with this putter after it was completed, but if I want to change the lie angle, if I want to change the length, if I want to change the loft, the head weight, all of those things are perfectly adjustable. You can see here, actually, this putts break a little bit left to right because of my floor, but I quickly adjusted that. But just getting a feel for it, it actually feels really good. The 500-gram head weight definitely feels good, and the length feels pretty good. Everything, even just after a couple, this is literally the first time I'm hitting putts. After a little bit of adjustment, I'm quickly getting into a little bit of a groove here, and I feel like I'm hitting some pretty good putts. Okay, I want to give some thoughts. This is literally the first time I'm hitting putts with this golf club. And I have to say, it actually feels really, really good. The first main issue or question I think with a broomstick putter is what kind of stroke are you going to employ? You've got a couple options. You've got kind of the Adam Scott or Glover type of putting stroke where you're kind of keeping this whole unit here fixed and you're just pivoting the shoulders. So the elbows, the arms are all staying relatively locked. And it just feels like I'm kind of pivoting from my spine angle. To me, that feels pretty comfortable. But I know like Bernhard Longer, he has one where he almost kind of pinches the top of the grip between his thumb and his forefinger, keeping his shoulders perfectly steady, does more of that motion with the right arm basically powering the stroke. To me, that feels a little bit awkward. The whole idea of trying to pivot around my shoulders just feels pretty comfortable to me. So that seems to be the route that I'm going. I'm just grabbing it with my left hand all the way around. Making a circle around the top. Now with my right hand, I'm finding this to be pretty comfortable, where I just put it right up the lifeline here of my hand like this, and almost kind of feel like I'm, just playing bag toss, and just kind of very intuitively stroking the putt. I have also tried a claw grip, this kind here where I'm almost feeling like my hand here makes a flat that's perpendicular to my target line. And I've also seen guys that will do this. To me, that feels really weird and really, really foreign, where you're almost feeling like this part of your hand is staying square to the face. But to me, with the shoulder rocking motion and just kind of grabbing it here, again, all I'm trying to do is really stabilize everything and then just pivot at the shoulders. The last comment I want to make too is about length. This is currently at about 45 inches in length, and the thought has crossed my mind, if I show you from this angle, you can see what kind of, I feel like my eyes are pretty well above if I move the ball here, my eyes feel like they're above the ball. My left arm feels like it's pointing at the target, my left elbow. But I do feel like I've got a little bit of bend here at my hips. which actually feels fine, but you certainly could go a little more upright. I actually know a friend that has like a 48-incher, and he like pretty much putts just like this, where it is literally straight up. To me, having a little bit of bend at the waist feels pretty comfortable and natural. Now this putt I think has a little left to right break for my basement floor, but the other thing I think about too is loft and ball position. I'm kind of trying to feel almost like the center of my stance here is the center of gravity of the putter, so the ball needs to be a little bit forward. And to me that feels pretty good. But that's going to be something I need to toy around with. I need to especially see what kind of strikes I'm getting when I'm on the putting green. You want the ball to start rolling end over end pretty much as quick as soon as possible without any skipping or jumping or bumping. I don't know, guys, that feels, from these short putts, these little 5 and 7 footers, it feels pretty automatic. This is not representative of what it would be like to play real golf. We won't know that till the spring, but for now, pretty thrilled with this thing.